Hello, Happy New Year. It's the Year of the Dragon, 2024, and I wanted to make some delicious Chinese called bamboo bun for my friends in this area. So let's begin. The ingredients you would need is shiitake mushroom, and I'm gonna make about 3 dozen, maybe less. So I'm using 2 bags of the shiitake mushroom. The shiitake mushroom comes dehydrated. So what you would do is you would get like a gallon bag per package, and you soak it with water and let it sit in the fridge overnight. Overnight or 24 hours, that's fine. And then shallots. Then you would need to dice the mushroom with a food processor into this granulate. And then you would need shallots, also grind into food processor, fine chopped. You also need soy sauce, salt, and I'm using a little bit more flavoring with the pho seasoning. It's kind of like, it's got salt, but it also has other spices, like the 5 spice here. That is crucial. And then you would need bamboo leaves. It's very important because that's the packaging. And you would need cotton thread or yarn to wrap it up. Also, you would need ground pork. So I'm putting about 5 pounds of ground pork. So first you turn on the heat to about medium height. Because it's a cast iron, so it's going to take a little while to heat it up, but I'm going to go ahead and add the oil and the ingredients. So you would need about, I would say, half a cup of avocado oil, any kind of oil you want. And just pour it all the way around the pork. And then you would need about, depends on how salty you want it, but I would give it about 1 cup of soy sauce. By the way, I forgot to mention, you also need rice as part of the package. So here you have, it isn't just any rice, it's called sweet rice. It's a lot of gluten, but that's how you make it stick. And that's going to go with the meat later. Alright, it's kind of boiling a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and pour 1 cup of soy sauce onto the pork. And about 1 tablespoon of 5 spice. And then 2 tablespoons of the pho seasoning. Actually, 3. A little bit of dash of pepper, white pepper preferably. A little bit of salt. and start stirring. So as I'm stir frying the pork along with the ingredients, the flavoring, I'm going to go ahead and add the 2-pack of shiitake grinded mushroom. You want to add the mushroom early because you want to cook the mushroom just as pretty much as long as you cook the pork. Because really you can't eat the mushroom when it's raw like this. So you gotta cook it as long as possible. So I'm gonna stir it and cook it for about 10 minutes. Okay, it's about a little bit after 10 minutes. And as you can see, there's still some red in the pork, and that's not acceptable. But in the meantime, as soon as I open the cover, it's extremely aromatic because of the black mushroom, and the pork flavor too. But still, I gotta keep on stirring it because I gotta get rid of the redness of the pork. You can never eat pork when there is still redness. Still, that means it's still raw. It's dangerous. Life-threatening when you eat pork raw. So do not eat pork when it's still red, when it's still raw. Okay, at this point I can add 5 shallots. These are 2. I add 5 shallots in this ingredient. I didn't do it right away because I want to give the shallot a little bit physical state. Because after you cook it too long, the shallot kind of just disappeared. So I want to give it a little later so it still have that hint of the shallot, physical look of the shallot. The flavor is going to sink in sooner or later. I also add a little water so that the bottom doesn't get sticky, burned. So because it's still a little red, I'm going to keep cooking for about, I give it about another 10 minutes. Another 10 minutes or until you see no redness at all. Just light brown. And then we can move on to the mixing with the sweet rice. And then wrap it with bamboo leaves. Okay, it's about 10 minutes later. And the pot is boiling hot, which pretty much means everything's cooked. And you can see close up. It's kind of steamy. But they're brown now. There's no red. So they are thoroughly cooked. So the next step is to mix. Turn off the heat, of course. And then mix the meat with the rice. Now I remember how my mother did it. She would get the bamboo ready. Well, I could demonstrate later, but I just want to tell you now. She would get the bamboo leaves ready, fold it into a form, and then she would put the rice first. Then she would put the meat. And the meat, she likes it chunks, not fine grated like I did. She likes to put it in chunks of meat, of pork, like a pork belly kind of meat. pork belly, chunks of pork belly, and chunks and half the shiitake. Like cut the shiitake into half or strips. And when I eat it, it's always, I didn't like it so much because after I done eating some of the mushroom and the meat, and it remained, the rice was left over. So I end up just have rice. So I didn't like that. So I decided I'm going to do it in an even way where I would mix the meat and the rice almost equally so that every bite has the rice and the meat and the mushroom and the shallot. Okay, now I'm going to mix the rice with the ingredients. So just a little demonstration, because it's going to take me some time to mix it thoroughly. But I just want to demonstrate with the rice and the fragrantic meat. I'm just going to mix it thoroughly until enough to fill up this big bowl.